So I've been asked by the internet, by my friends in the Gibson Supreme group online, and I gotta tell you, these guys are awesome. And if there's anyone who's really nice and knows how to speak to people and transcend past political beliefs or music genres and not be mean and just say, here's the information, here's what actually happened. There's all kinds of things that I have learned. But one thing that I have learned, and I knew ahead of time, is that Gibson has the most inaccurate descriptions of their woods. They're so inconsistent, and some of them are amazing, and some of them are terrible. I've seen $40,000 Bella Voces that have like literally tops I wouldn't call a 10 on a PRS. And then I've seen other guitars where I'm just like, oh, is this from the tree? And if you don't know what the tree is, go Google it. It's the best maple tree ever found. But Gibson Supreme, here's the interesting part. It's like a Gibson Custom, but it's made not in the custom shop, in the normal core line. So it's in a different factory. And it has the same features as a custom, other than the block inlays are split block inlays, like a Super 400. It has abalone on the headstock. It has a carved back, chambered, 5A, front and back, and it's cheaper than a Les Paul Custom. I don't understand, because if you get yourself a Premium Plus or a custom, quilt top, wherever, that has wood even remotely as close to as good as the Supremes have, they're $7-8 grand, $5,600, crazy amounts of money. Whereas I have never seen a guitar from Gibson ever consistently have such great appointments. And this is something I've agreed upon, which is why I love the Supremes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is my first Supreme ever. And it's a trans black. I like to think that I'm good with the LGBTQ plus community. It's a trans black. And look at that wood. It's got, again, what they call a chevron pattern. Chevron, if you can speak any Ivrit. And that means it goes up and down. And look at that. Like literally, it's like 3D. And even though it's black, because this is one of my big gripes with a lot of the dark stains, you could see from across the room that it's not black, that it's a beautiful wood grain. Now, if you notice from the iridescence, it's a real mollusk. Everyone knows how I feel about it. I don't like that Gibsons don't have real mollusks. And in fact, I just bought a Gibson Elegant, which is basically like a Gibson Standard, but with abalone inlays, which they don't normally do. I had to get a custom shop. Here's the other thing. They have the bell brass frets, so it's like literally the Cadillac. You have all gold hardware, gold Les Paul, Supreme headstock logo with abalone and mother of pearl. You got the 75-piece binding. It's ridiculous. And something else that's crazy about it. Look at the back. Look at the back. This back is nicer than 99% of Gibson's tops. And it's cool because it doesn't have any back plate. It's actually carved, so you have to like get all the guts in here. It's a very strange design, but that makes them really, really light. One of my only beefs about them is that they only have the 50s necks, so the necks are like tree trunks. And I actually put hip shot tuners on this, and I actually like the way that they're almost whiter than the green. They're just beautiful and a lot more stable than the ones that were on it. But very cool. But something that was brought up to me in the Gibson group, we don't know how this passed. Look at the book matching. Now, I know it looks amazing. This wood is amazing. But follow my finger. It's literally not even. It's like at a diagonal tilt. Look at where it goes. Does this look like the middle to you? This is like if you turn something in Adobe, like that. So this is like the strangest book matching. And I thought maybe that's just some kind of cool, unique thing. And everybody that I talked to in my group said it's a great top, but like they were flabbergasted that it got out of Gibson without being quality checked or being listed as a B stock, which it's not. But here's the thing. It's better than any of my Gibson tops. It's amazing, other than my Supremes. I'm gonna get to the next one. Jim was just asking me what was, as I hit the headstock, what's the difference with this? So first off, they made a different version of the Supreme, and I know some people aren't as happy about it. And I'll tell you one thing right off the bat I don't like. I don't like they wrote Supreme on the headstock. Okay, we're all elitists, we like it, but it doesn't have to say Supreme. Put the globe on it, put an L5 thing, dumb. But love, 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 love the crowns. And this one's 120th anniversary, so it's cool because it has a 120th anniversary logo. And then they put this little mini humbucker. Wow. I gotta tell you, it gets some cool sounds. We're gonna do a demo of it later, but this mini humbucker gets almost telly sounds out of it. And if you roll down the tone, which I never thought I'd ever say roll down the tone because I don't use the tone, but the tone control on this changes it from sounding like a humbucker to sounding like a single coil. And that's really cool. It also has F-holes. I am a glutton for F-holes, and it's Caribbean blue. And this is another example of Gibson, just like PRS, realizing how to make guitars instead of midnight blue or whale blue, where if you walk like 3 feet away, you don't even see that it's not a solid top. You could see this from across the room. Caribbean blue, man. The only thing that was stupid about this was it came with snot-colored speed knobs. I don't know why. Some years came with these kind of knobs. I bought these aftermarket. I don't know why you'd make such a beautiful guitar have that. But look at the back. Look at the back. Oh my God. I love this. And this is actually one of the most 3D Gibsons I've ever seen. It's not the flamiest flame, but it's a nice thick flame. And it's a really, really 3D flame. And if you go over to this side too, there's a lot of up and down to it as well. So it basically, any way you turn it, it's prismatic. I really dig it. Now, to talk about the inconsistencies of Gibson. So where I think every single Gibson Supreme I've ever seen, other than obviously the ones that are just black and just white and whatever, have always had immaculate tops. This is supposed to be a 5A, and although it's quilt, that's not 5A. That's maybe 3A. It is 3D. It's not a piece of trash. Now, the redeeming quality of this is it's extremely limited. They only made 400. It's the Autumn Burst. But look at this back. Go figure the back's nicer. Nicer ass on this one. I really actually love the fade into black. But something very peculiar about this that does, I think, actually raise the value, because I've never seen this on another Supreme or actually many other guitars. I mean, I know it must exist somewhere. But you have a quilt top, and then you have a flame back. It's just peculiar. But this is a guitar of the week, and this is actually very interesting because it has no inlay. And normally I'd say, like, what the F, because I love inlays. But there's something to be said about a guitar with bell brass frets, an ebony fretboard, and no inlay. And the funny part is, if you come over here, Jim, I'm going to show you something. I consider this the triumvirate. Technically, these are the guitars of the month, but I feel like these are like separated at birth. If you hold these, it's like you took the appointments from the Supreme and put them on the Flying V and the Explorer with the Super 400 inlays, and then took nothing on this. And these are, I think they call them Brimstone Burst, and this is Autumn Burst. So they're not technically the same color, but these are supposed to be AA tops. And like, is that a top? It's a great guitar, but like, this is not a AA top to me. This is like phoned in as far as the quality of wood. It has nothing to do with the sound, because both of these sound and play excellent, but not AA. Supremes, the most supremely consistent guitar from Gibson. Okay, so this is my Gibson Supreme F-hole cutaway. This is 120th anniversary, which makes it a 2014. I should know that. I just can't do math because I'm a guitar player, and not a good one at that. Want to bring to attention how beautiful this top is, and also how beautiful this back is, and the binding, and even the mahogany on this guitar. It's just look at how swirly swirls those are. It's beautiful. So this is just a lead pickup, again, going through a Vox AC30 dialed down distortion. interesting one because if you have the tone, and anyone that knows me knows I hate tone. I don't mean I hate tone. I hate tone knobs. Let's be specific. I don't like using them. I think a pickup should sound like what it's supposed to sound like. But this one, if you play it like right here, I mean, it doesn't sound exactly like a Strat, but it sounds to me more Strat territory than most Gibsons, just because it has more of a single coil feel. But if you dial it down to, let's say 5, so let's say this is 10. Do you hear the butter roll in? Like this is basically like the artery clogger right here. Let's roll down all the way. So there's all the way. That sounds amazing versus. Did you see what I just did? I did it on the wrong pickup. I'm like trying to change it. And I'm like, why is it not changing? Because I'm using the wrong fucking knob! This is the single coil. I'm like, this all sounds like single coil to me. What the fuck? Let's roll it down about to 5. Let's roll it down all the way. So a little bit too much, but let's get it to like exactly humbucker for what a Supreme should sound like. That's what a normal full size, was it the 496 or 498, whatever it is, 498 versus. Love that. Now, let's get some distortion. Let's get something, a 5153. Oh, he has some kind of effect on it. Cool. What's that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep that on there because it's cool. So like, high gain. So again, rolled up all the way. Versus down. Has that real nasal sound to it. But man, I gotta tell you that I say that the Gibson Supremes are really the most supremely consistent guitars from Gibson. They have the best tops. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this one was like a $5,000 one, so they've made a more expensive one. They're like, oh, you think a Supreme's a good value? We'll make a more expensive one. But basically, the other ones have the Super 400 inlay, and they're less than a Gibson Les Paul custom. And they're basically just like customs with 5A tops and 5A backs and split block inlays and abalone and all like the bell brass frets. This one is a permutation on it. I think it listed for like $5,500 or even $6,000. I mean, you could find them pretty consistently for around $4,500 to $5,000. So they're an expensive guitar, but that's retail. And retail for a custom with all these appointments is like $7 or $8 grand for something that's probably not even as opulent as this is. So I bought this used for $2,800. It was missing a knob but it's minty. And I gotta tell you, I haven't found another one for that cheap where I'd buy 7 of them. That said, wow, what a great sounding guitar. And also proof that you still need to spend $5,000 to get an absolutely immaculate Les Paul from Gibson. But they can make them. They exist, and it's called the Gibson Supreme F-Hole.
Why don't you fucking smash that subscribe button already?